Hi everyone, welcome to our next video from Worlds of Wonder by Johanna Basford, and we have got this little square design to do today, and I've grabbed my Derwent Chromaflow pencils as I have had a few of you asking for videos using them, so I'm hoping to use them a little bit more for you. I've got them all laid out beside me. I've got this set of 24, one is used up. And I've got a spare one. I've bought a pear coloured one because I liked it, or maybe I can't remember. Might have got it in a mystery bag, but never mind. I'm going to have a look at this anyway and see where we're at. So we've got these all the same, not that one, those the same, those the same. Okay, right, I'm going to just pick a nice colour and get started. I think I'm going to go for a red. We haven't got much red on this page apart from the one that was almost completely red. So we've got our scarlet, and I'm going to do these in the scarlet. So, oh, sorry, I'm just adjusting my cardigan because I've got a cold draft down the back of my neck. Brr. I think there's just a little bit of gapping between my cardi and I've got little, what is it called? Around my neck, I can't think, they've got a name. It's a rounded piece of fabric around my neck. We used to use them as masks in times of COVID. I sort of pull it up over your mouth, but it keeps my neck nice and warm, rather than wearing a scarf, which then the ends flip about everywhere. This keeps my neck warm, but it's not as good as a scarf really, because it's not quite, can't wrap it round lots of times and doesn't, that sort of thing. I might put a scarf on later instead, tuck it into my cardigan. It won't, I think it annoys me about scarves is like when you're cooking or colouring, it can drape all over the place, but which these don't. There we go. Is it called a neck gaiter? Is that what they call them? I've got no idea. Anyway, I quite like this red. So this is the scarlet. It's a pretty colour, isn't it? And actually, these are quite nice pencils. I haven't used them a fair bit, but I haven't used them much recently. And behaving quite nicely on this paper. Some of the other Derwent ones I'm not so keen on. These I actually keep together with my other Derwents in colour order in a case, so I mix up my Derwent sets normally. I've just pulled these out so I know what I'm doing. And I find that these are the ones that I grab the most, partly because they're a little bit thinner. They sharpen to a nice fine point, yeah, they have the sort of brighter colours, but when I'm looking for something a little bit more earthy, I can use my drawing pencils, or my Lightfast have quite an earthy tones. The drawing pencils are nice because they're a little bit softer, I think, and it means if you're doing like a lot of background, they're quite good for that. I've used them for a background, and I forget that they're so good. I need to use them more for backgrounds. If you want a sort of brownish, greenish sort of background, they're very good because they blend and smush quite nicely, and they've got nice earthy tones which I enjoy. And I've got some of the Studio and Artist pencils, just a few. They're really hard, and the colours that I've got are light, so I've got like a salmon and pastel. Oh, sorry, I just kicked something under the desk. And some salmon and stuff, and so they don't really show up because they're hard anyway. They're not as vibrant, so it sort of put me off those really. But I don't think I've really given them the benefit of the doubt, but don't see people using them a lot really, interestingly. Tend to. And actually, I did hear someone complaining that the Chromaflow aren't really very different to other Derwent sets, and they seem to have just released them to make money and, you know, to encourage people to buy extra pencils. But actually, I disagree with that, in that I feel they are a different feel. They're obviously quite a different colour range to the light fast. Some of the colours are the same, and the drawing pencils. But they're a nice softness. They're not too soft, not too hard. You know, gosh, I sound like a salesman for Derwent, but they are expensive. These are cheaper than some Derwents, but I feel that Derwents are overpriced. They're British made, and yet they are dearer than some equivalent pencils from other countries. So it's difficult. Supporting British business is always good, but yeah, I might put the full set of Chromaflow on my birthday list. I don't know how much they are, to be honest. It might be too expensive, but anyway, we'll see. Of course, I don't need any more pencils. Sorry, my little joke. There are some sets that I wouldn't replace, I have to say, if they ran out, you know, and some sets that I've got a small set and I'm not bothered by getting a larger one, sort of thing. But so there are some pencils I don't need, in quotation marks. So they're red, aren't they? Red. Wow. Now I'm just gonna try and make them a little more intense around the centre. Remember we did that in the metallic one we did. I don't know if you saw that yesterday, or whether these are going out sequentially, because I am recording a little bit in advance, so I'm not quite sure what's going to go out when. I'm getting ahead of myself, which is rather nice. Partly because it's nice to have a little bit of a buffer in case something crops up and I just can't make videos for a few days, like when I got COVID. I just couldn't speak, really. My voice went and I just felt a bit yak, as you can imagine. That's fine. It took me ages to get back. I kept coughing, didn't I, on video? That's right. Right, I'm going to use a black for these circles. Okay. Yes, I'm hoping I won't get that again. But I think these are looking a bit poppy-like somehow. Anyway. I guess they're the same as these, aren't they? But yeah, any reasoning really. It's nice to be a little bit ahead, and so I get a little bit confused as to what's going out when. But that's okay. I also know that it's getting to the end of the month, and there'll be completed pages to come out at some point. I have to leave a little gap because I can't record that one too early, because or else I haven't done anything. And there's the monthly planner pages too. The next one is nice. It's from Enchanted Forest, quite an old one. I've done it quite a few times, but I really like it, so I'm looking forward to having another go. I don't know what I'm going to use. Someone's asked me to have a go at using some watercolour pencils, and it had occurred to me that as those are effectively single-sided, because I don't use the back and the planner bit, I could do some in there, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm daring enough. I need to have a play with them myself on my own, I think, first, because I haven't used them for ages. I'm going to try this bright sun yellow in the middle. If it's too bright, I might use something up. Ooh, broke the end then. But actually, I rather like that. I see how it sits when we've done the rest. I think it will work. It's quite a big contrast, isn't there? And I might use a bit of white pen. Well, I will in places, so that might sort of tone it down a little bit. Now, where should we go? We want... let's use our lilac. Now, last time I used these, I did explain my number 11, I think it is, which I don't know what the colour is run out, so I don't have that one. So this is the lighter of the sort of purple shades. I'm going to do these and these, I think. So you might have a darker one you might prefer to use, but I think this is pretty dark anyway. So it's up to you which you use. But yes, it kept breaking, unfortunately, in my sharpener, and then got really small. and got just too small. So yeah, it was a shame, but you know, happens. Pencils don't last forever. Well, unless you don't use them. There's no point in that, is there? But this one is pretty dark anyway, so I think it's fine. I'm trying to fade a little bit towards the tip of the petals. Do the same all the time and I like it. It works for me. So I think it doesn't look realistic, but it's an easy to remember way of colouring them. I find it fairly simple and I like the way it looks, so you know, that's that really. Are they the same? I think I might do them in a different colour, those two. I'm not going to do the centres of those yet. I'm going to grab the magenta. This one's quite small as well. And do these two in magenta. I don't know how long I've had these, but it's not a very good way of judging how well they last in thinking how long you've had them. It's how much you've used them that's the important thing, really. So I don't know. But they don't seem very breaky to me now. So it might be that I was using a blunt sharpener or the wrong sharpener, or you know, it's always hard to tell. As you become more experienced colourist, as you will know, you get to know which tools are better than others, which pencils like which sharpeners and things like that. You know, I have got a Derwent sharpener which I'm supposed to use for these really, but I sharpened them all with my dowel the other day and they seem happy with that, which is good. There we go, magenta. Now we need a blue. Oops. Got three blues. Got a denim blue and a light blue. I think I'm just going to use the mid blue. The denim's quite dark. I think it would look a little bit similar to this. So I'm going to use just the blue. And if we do those in blue or that in blue, I think I'll do this one. I'm actually going to do the centre the same colour as the rest because I just feel this sort of style of flower looks like that's how it should be. But you don't have to if you'd rather do it sort of yellow or brown or whatever. Sometimes I do flower centres green. There's all sorts of ways to do them. I do think I need to do a bit more in Johanna's books. I've been doing a lot in Small Victories, of course, but I want to complete a second copy of this one, this being my second copy, and I want to do a second copy of World of Flowers and Ivy, but obviously it takes quite a while, especially when you've got about 1 million other books on the go as well. Well, maybe not 1 million, but probably 100, and it's a lot. But I come back to doing a Johanna and I just feel like it's a little bit easier for me. I know her style so well, I know what I'm doing, you know what I mean? It's just nice and fun, chilled, that sort of thing. So anyway, I might, once I finish this page, I might do something else in here. Maybe, possibly not a video, depends. I've done a load of videos from this book already, loads. Every page that was made up of small items like this page has got a video, I think. So it's only the sort of big pages that don't. Some do, I think. I'm going to do orange over here. I want to really mix up those colours. My pencils want to roll everywhere. There we go. This is called Flame, but it is effectively orange. You'll see when it goes down. It's actually quite a bright orange. I wouldn't even call that flame. I don't know why I always think Flame's a bit lighter. Doesn't matter, does it? We'll do the centres in a minute of all of them, and then think about leaves and background. I had thought to do the pear as the background because it's a colour that isn't in the set, but I think it'll be a little bit too similar to the one here because it's a yellowy green. So I'll do something else, but I'm not sure what. So let's grab our yellows. I am going to use the amber gold for a couple of centres. I think these, nice and bright. And then this one, which is the golden sun, I'm going to use for those. I'm just keeping it plain. I will get some white out at the end and do something with them. I keep wanting to roll everywhere. Okay, so now we're onto our greens, and I'm going to avoid using the pear because you may not have it in your set. I pretty much decided on my background too, but let's get going with, let's grab the basil. This is our darkest green. I'm going to use it for these and these, I think. So just like the petals, a little darker at the base, lighter at the tip. Work through them all. This pencil's a bit blunter than the rest, but it's good enough for me. There we go, and then down here as well. There we go. And my favourite green is the foliage because it's an olive, which, like my olives, I do like olives, but olive green too. Some people loathe olives, don't they? So I think this foliage goes really nicely with a orange, so I'm going to use it with these. Yeah, some people hate them. In fact, when we have like family get-togethers, I sometimes buy olives because we usually have salad, and olive gives a nice flavour, I think, to a salad. I'm going to use that here. I know it's a bit contrived, it's sort of opposite and opposite, and then that could be the other colour. And I buy red ones and green ones, and the red ones are really unpopular. The green ones are always popular, but I prefer red ones or black ones. I might buy some today. I'm going shopping after lunch. I've got to get some lunchboxy items for my boys are in uni all day. One is, the other one isn't in uni all day tomorrow. They both will be after this week. And one of them is just one of his classes doesn't start this week, next week. Now we're going to use the grass green. I think this one is probably the one that goes with red the best. So that's worked out very nicely. I'm not too keen on this colour, I have to say. It's not my favourite green shade. It's quite useful colour, but it's it's not my favourite. But you can always mix it with other colours to take it down, so it's not quite so neon-y. I can't decide what pencil to do for the last one. Actually, I was next door looking through my pencils and I grabbed these. And I found one that I thought would do for tomorrow. And now I've totally forgotten what it was. I think I did think about using my Tombow Rogetons, but I don't think many people have those. So I thought maybe that wouldn't be such a useful one to do. I thought Pablo's I could use, but again, I don't think many people have those either. So I could use Ergosofts. We've used Polychromos twice. We've used Prisma Very Thins, haven't we? Or have we? No, we've used Prismas. I don't think we've used Very Thins. Maybe I'll get those out. I did those for a planner page, didn't I? Some people seem to enjoy that. Yeah, maybe I'll do that, because then if you don't have the very things, you can just follow along with a regular Prisma. I would find that quite difficult. I was going to use the burnt sienna for my background, and then I've just looked at my pencils and decided that I'm going to try using the blush pink. We haven't got a pink background, and I think it would be rather different, so that's what I'm going to use, blush pink. I don't know how well it's going to work, to be honest. It's not a colour that I would normally use, but it's as good a reason as any to try it out, isn't it? Ooh. My son's cheering next door. I hope that means he's had some success with what he's trying to achieve. Might just mean he's watched a video and found it fun. Who knows? He's in a cheeky mood today, that boy. It's fun. We're giving each other a bit of naughty banter this morning at breakfast, and my husband hates banter. It's not really like that, we're a bit, yeah, cheeky and giggly. It's nice. But I think banter can be nasty, but we know each other so well, we know what to tease each other about. You know, I was telling him his hood was scruffy, and then he was making it even more scruffy and things like that. You know, we're just being really silly. Whereas sometimes I think people can be a bit cutting. I think particularly there seems to be a bit of comedy at the moment where people are rude to each other and they think it's funny. And I find that uncomfortable because I don't know those people. Are they laughing? Are they laughing because they feel they have to? And are they really hurting? Or is it okay? You know, so I find it a little bit tricky. But when you know someone well, you can judge it. Like my husband does not like that sort of messing around humour at all. So we don't do that with him at all. But the children do. So this is a Jelly Roll 10, and we're going to do some white dotting. I'm going to just, on the orange ones, I'm just going to go around the centre. There we go. Now, I think I'm going to go all the way down the petals on these. Pen doesn't want to work. It's clogged. There we go, that's better. I get used to these clogging a little bit. There are some that are much worse for it, and I think it's just a nature of using a gel pen, really. But we'll see. Some are better than others. Smaller pens clog more, which makes sense. Some claim to be better flowing than others. I have used some dire ones, but I find Posca Sakura pretty much equivalent in the flow of gel / paint. Just who was I talking to about Posca? Oh yeah, I had a bit of a Posca accident on one of my pictures. It's fine. And I mentioned it in a video, and someone was saying how they shook their Posca without the lid on. I've done that too. You only do it once. When your desk ends up splattered, it was in black as well. I just put a few around here. In fact, let's go around each petal. Maybe that's a bit over the top, I don't know. But yes, my desk ended up with black splatters, and my keyboard. So no, always put the lid on before you shake. It is paint and it does come out. I think, yes. But the mistake I made recently wasn't shaking. I pumped the nib directly onto my page because it was really not working very well, and I thought, and I kept doing it on a scrap paper and it was barely coming out. So I just thought, I can do it on the page. No, and a big puddle came out. I was like, ah. And it was supposed to be like a dot around a picture, you know, it's just a finishing touches, so I couldn't like spread it or anything, it wasn't a background. Whoops. But hey ho, it's not the end of the world, it's just a bit of paint. Right, there we go. There's that one in our Chromaflow, like quite bright and cheerful. And I shall eventually make a decision as to what to use for tomorrow's and make the video at some point. So look out for that one. But today, have fun and happy colouring. Thank you for watching.